Hey guys, I'm Alastair from Trail and Kale, and this is my Salomon Genesis review. A bit about me then. I'm just a regular guy, a non-elite athlete who absolutely loves running. Reviewing the latest running shoes and gear. My 5K PR is 19 minutes and 50 seconds, which I'm always trying to beat. I've run countless ultra marathons around the world, and my favourite distance is the cheeky half marathon. Road or trail, I love running on them both. I'm not afraid to let you know when a running shoe is crap, but also you're definitely going to know when one blows me away. Either way, our independent running shoe reviews are always 100% honest, reliable, and hopefully you'll come away from this video having learned something new. Let's start by explaining who these trail running shoes are for then. Well, they're a high support, all mountain trail running shoe for anyone who wants to move through the mountains with precision over technical terrain, and that includes going up hills, down hills, even on the flats. And I'd say they perform best on rocky terrain. That's kind of what they're designed to do. But on this run, I've been running on rocks, single tracks, loose dirt, all kinds of different types of terrain. So I'm able to test them on all of it. And I will let you know how they perform on all those different types of terrain throughout this review. All right, let's go over the key specifications. Firstly, they cost $150. I'll let you know by the end of this review if I think they're worth that price tag. How do they fit and how do they feel? Well, they are quite snug, classic Salomon behavior. So where they are snug would be this area around the widest part of your toe box. There's not a huge amount of room in the rest of the toe box either. For the rest of the shoe, I'd say they're a medium width and they just about fit true to length, but my advice would be to definitely size up a half size. You'll get a much more enjoyable run and you'll feel a lot less pressure within that toe box. The upper is using matrix material, which is second to none. It's the best you can get in a trail running shoe upper. To learn more about matrix, read that article up there. With quick lace system, so if you're familiar with Salomon running shoes and you've seen some of my other Salomon running shoe reviews, then you will have already known about this system. And it's really great. It just cinches up with this lock here, and you pull on this tab, and then you just shove it or stick it in the garage there, and it just stays out of the way, which is great. Those laces definitely won't come undone when you're running either. Another feature of the upper, and I'm really liking this, is the slight articulation of the heel counter, and it's quite flexible too. So if you've been following my reviews, you know I'm a big fan of heel counters that don't put pressure on your Achilles. Anyone who suffered from Achilles tendonitis in the past will know this. Nobody wants pressure on there. You want the shoe to be locked to your foot, but you don't want any additional pressure that just doesn't feel right or doesn't feel comfortable. These ones do a great job of giving way when they need to, but they also lock your feet in the shoe really well. And I'll go over that a little bit more in my performance review. The outsole is using Salomon's Contour Grip, which is their top of the line rubber compound for outsoles. And the lugs on there are 5mm deep, with the shallowest lugs being roughly 4mm. So they're not the same depth across the shoe. And that's obviously designed so that you get the maximum amount of traction and clawing into the trail where you actually need it on the bottom of the shoe. I can say it's performing really well so far. Most of the running I've done up until this point has been climbing, which is why I'm covered in sweat. It's not even that hot. I guess it must be humid in the forests today. But it's been performing really well. More on that in just a moment. They have a medium drop from heel to toe, with a stack height of 34mm under the heel and 26mm under the forefoot. The midsole, by the way, is really nicely balanced. It's very responsive, but it does have enough cushioning to make the ride comfortable. So I feel like Salomon has just hit the sweet spot perfectly with these shoes. Really love how they feel on hard ground. They are a support shoe, so tons of support. If you do have pronation issues, then you will feel the support in this shoe, and it will guide you and help protect your gait on the run. So yeah, really like how that support feels in the Genesis. And finally, they're a mid-weight shoe weighing in at 9.8 ounces for a size US men's 9. That's my pair. Well, congrats, you made it to my performance review, and this is where I'm going to be sharing how they've been performing throughout this trail run. And that includes flat sections, steep climbs, steep descents, and varying levels of challenging terrain as well. A lot of it is technical terrain on my downhills, but a lot of the flat sections are quite nice and buff trails. So when it comes to the flat sections, these shoes are awesome. They are very snappy. Like I mentioned before, that midsole is very balanced, so you get just the right level of cushioning and protection underfoot from any sharp things on the trail that might stick into the bottom of your foot. You don't feel any of that, but they're also responsive enough to give you that nice energy return or propulsion when you're running and you want to run fast. The only area this could be improved is if the toe box was wider. I feel like my toes would be allowed to splay. That would allow me to get better performance, faster speeds, but also better biomechanics in the long run. So hopefully in the next version they'll just widen that toe box. I just think it will make it more accessible to different foot shapes out there. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. We're getting really close to 10,000 subscribers now, so please do us a favor, subscribe to the channel. You won't be disappointed in the content, I promise. And breathability has been really good as well. So I've been noticing that on the flat sections when I've been running fast, but also on some of these steep climbs, like I'm halfway through at the moment. It is pretty hot here in the forest today. I think it's like a humidity issue because I'm not in direct sunlight at all. I'm actually really feeling it. It doesn't often get humid in California, so must be the trees. Blame it on the trees. When it comes to climbing, they're also really good. Like I mentioned before, that heel counter and quick lace system really locks your foot into the shoe. Gets a really nice comfortable fit. So the heel lock is fantastic. And by the way, it's super easy and super fast to get a really nice fit in these shoes. And the collar and heel counter is all very padded, so they feel really good when you put them on. The tongue is really stretchy, by the way. So you pull that up, it stays up in place. Tons of padding around the collars. And the tongue's got a good amount as well. Once again, if that toe box was wider, I'd be able to splay my feet and be able to get more power going up the hills. That's not there, but what I do have is good breathability and very aggressive lugs that allow me to dig into the trail and get great traction and move up the hill quickly. So they perform very well on the uphills so far. And I was wondering how that 8mm drop would feel on the trails in this particular shoe. And it is on the top end of a medium drop, but it feels more like a 6mm drop, and actually it feels really well balanced for this shoe. So the drop is working very nicely for me. How do they perform on a downhill then? Well, really good. Traction is fantastic. So those aggressive contour grip 5mm lugs are doing their job really well. The position of those lugs across the shoe is working really well. Absolutely love it. And that's over mixed terrain from really loose, crazy slippy leaves, dry dirt sections, steep rock, tons of drop-in sections, all the sorts of things except for mud that would trip up a running shoe going downhill. And they've performed really well. And I'm gonna have to say, this is probably my favorite Salomon trail running shoe right now. I just love how versatile it is, how good it is as an all-round mountain shoe, and the price is really good as well. So that leads me on to, are they worth $150? Yes, I think it's probably pretty clear if you've watched this whole video all the way through that it performs really well over a variety of different types of terrains. Handles steep climbs, steep descents, fast flats really well. That balanced midsole performs just how you want it to on the trails. It gives you enough response, cushioning, but also control on these types of downhills, which is where you want it. And because it's a support shoe, you get even better stability and control, whether it's on the flats or the downhills. So anyone who does have overpronation issues are really going to love that feature. Just remember, if you do want to go try this shoe out, I do recommend sizing up a half size. You'll get a much nicer fit in the toe box and overall I think the shoe will just feel much more comfortable for the long run. Top alternatives in the all mountain trail running shoe range or category then, well, definitely head over to my best all mountain trail running shoes roundup on trailandkale.com. I frequently update that list as and when I review new all mountain running shoes, and if they're good enough I will then put them on that roundup. The link up there now and also in the description. Well, that's it for my Salomon Genesis review. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to this channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.